So after more than a year of beta release, we finally got the stable version of all new Arduino IDE 2.0, and in this video, I'll be covering almost everything regarding this new Arduino IDE 2.0. So if you are the one who are already using the previous generation of the Arduino IDE and want to shift to the new generation, or if you are the one who already installed the new Arduino IDE 2.0 and want to know what are its new features and how to use it, or you are like me who just love to watch the latest content from your favorite creator regardless of any purpose, well, this video is for all of you, as after watching this video, your all answer regarding this new Arduino IDE 2.0 will be cleared. So before starting this video, if you are watching me for the very first time, well, consider subscribing this channel, because I come up with these kind of latest and greatest innovations in the field of electronics, IoT and automation. And also consider subscribing because I want to see that 100k number as soon as possible. So yeah, that being said, let's start with Arduino IDE 2.0. यार ये बहुत ही सही सॉफ्टवेयर है, trust me. Let's get started. This video is sponsored by LTM, which is a PCB designer based software company. Now if I tell you one very interesting feature of this software, then here in LTM Designer you can design rigid flex PCB. Now what is that? So till now you must have designed the PCB which is like rigid, like solid PCBs if you are not able to bend. But here in LTM you can design a PCB in which some of the parts are rigid, solid, and some of the parts are flexible which can bend, and the PCB can, we can bend it in a two-fold manner, just like the modern day smartphone, right? So this is a really very interesting, useful and unique feature of the software. Well, you can also try out this and many other unique and interesting features of this designer software by just clicking on the link mentioned in the description. Yes, by clicking on the link, you'll get access to the free trial version of this software. So go ahead, try out the free trial version of LTM Designer software. So let's first start with installing the new Arduino IDE 2.0, and for that you need to go to this page whose link is down in the description, and here you can download the Arduino IDE 2.0 for any of the operating system that you have. Now this is the best part, like Arduino IDE 2 is available for all the operating system, maybe it's Windows, Linux or Mac OS. In my case, I'm using the Mac OS, so I'll select this. And yeah, now here you can donate if you want to, otherwise you can just click on just download button. And in my case, I already downloaded it but haven't installed it yet because I want to have that experience of using this software for the very first time. So I'll double click on it to install it. Okay, great. So I'll simply drag and drop it here. And we are done with the installation part. Okay, so finally here is the Arduino IDE 2.0 installed in my Mac system. Now let's move ahead and have a look over the visual difference between both the versions, like the version 1 and the version 2. Let's see what are the visual changes that we are getting in the second generation. So here is the side-by-side comparison of both the versions of Arduino IDE. On the left, we have the first generation of the first version of Arduino IDE. On the right, we have the second version of Arduino IDE. And by default, it opens up with a dark theme which looks really very great. So one thing is clear, we are getting multiple theme options in the second versions, which I'll talk about in detail later in this video. But now let's just see the visual difference between both the versions. So the first visual difference is, as you can see, there are not a lot of buttons shown here. There is only the compile or the verify button and the upload button, which was also available in the previous version. But in the new version, there is a slight change in the icon. After that, here in the new version, we are getting a new button called as a debug button, which was not the option in the previous version. And other than that, all the three buttons like save, open and new are neglected here. But in return, we are getting a new feature which is select board. So now we can select the board from here inside the main window only. We no longer need to go to tools and boards and everything. I'll talk about this feature later in this video. This is really very interesting. Let us stick on the visual difference. Okay, on the right we have the serial monitor option. Same goes with the case of the new version, along with the serial plotter as well. So now serial plotter is into the main window with the proper icon. Okay, after that the code window seems pretty similar, with a change in the fonts, I guess. So the new version has a different font as compared to the previous version. Okay, now in the new version, on the left bar we are getting a couple of options that were not at all available in the previous version. So the options are, first of all, the sketchbook folder, so we can access the sketch which are stored into the documents folder of our Arduino IDE. Now the good part is this new version is gets synced with the older version, so I'm able to access all the codes that are already saved by the previous version of Arduino IDE. So this is a nice synchronization, you can say. There's one more option available here, which is of Arduino Cloud. So now we can save the codes and access the codes from our Arduino Cloud account. I'll talk about this feature also in detail later in this video. Then we have the boards manager option. We can search for the boards here. Then we have the library manager option. We can search and install libraries from here. Then we have the debug option here. Let's just keep this topic as it is and we'll cover it in some upcoming video. And after that, we have the search button if you want to search something inside the code. Okay, so yeah, that was all about the visual difference. And one more visual difference is, so earlier we were opening like the serial monitor was opening up in a new pop-up window. I don't have any board connected, that's why it's not opening up, but we were having the pop-up window. But now here in this case, we can click on the serial monitor and the serial monitor appears at the bottom of the same Arduino IDE. So there is no longer pop-up window appear separately for a serial monitor. Okay, so that was all about the visual difference between both the versions. And now let us deep digger with each of the features that we are getting in this particular Arduino IDE 2.0, starting with the themes available. So for changing the theme, you need to go to Arduino preferences, and here are all the themes available. Okay, so we have 5 different kind of themes available, starting with the dark thea. Okay, so in which these buttons are kind of a bluish color. Then we have the light thea, that is the lighter version of this. After that, we have the high contrast. Okay, so as you can see, there's a really high contrast theme, like the white is whiter and the dark is darker. So it's a really high contrast theme. Then we have the dark Arduino based theme, in which we get this orange color syntax and Arduino color icons. And then we have the regular light Arduino. This is the regular theme that we are having in the first generation of the Arduino IDE. Out of all this, my favorite is of course this dark Arduino. I don't know, but I like this theme. But of course you can choose it and set the theme according to your choice. So that's one of the feature. Next feature comes is about the boards manager. Now this is again one of my, well, of course there are a lot of my favorite features, and this is one of them, which is to search boards manager. Now, do you know the struggle of going into boards manager in the previous generation? Well, you need to go to tools, then you need to go to the boards, then you need to go to the boards manager, and then you need to wait for a couple of seconds for this downloading platform index, stuff like that, and it will take 15 to 20 seconds, and after that you can search for the board that you want. So this much steps you need to do in the previous generation, and now in the new generation it's simple. Just click here and just search for the board that you want. For example, ESP32, and here is the ESP32 boards package. Just check out the version and click on the install to install that particular version. It's really very simple and convenient. And of course you need to paste that URLs into the Arduino preferences, which is the same step you need to do. You need to go to the preferences and into the boards manager. Here you need to paste the URL. Hey, come on, I don't have the URL here. Still I'm able to see the ESP32 boards package. I don't know. Let's type out ESP8266. Okay, so I'm confused. Like, do we still need to add those URL into the preferences? Well, I'm not sure, because as of now I don't have any URLs added here, but still I'm able to search and install this ESP8266 and ESP32 boards packages. Maybe it is already synced with the previous generation of Arduino IDE. It's possible, right? So it is fetching the details from the previous generation. I don't know, but yeah, in case you want to add this links, you can go to the preferences and you can add those links here. Pretty common. Now the next feature comes up is of the library manager. Now again, going into the libraries manager into the previous version of Arduino IDE do require a couple of steps. I need to go to sketch, into include libraries, then into manage libraries. Again, here you need to wait for a couple of seconds to download the library in text and stuff like that. But here it is made again very simple. Just click here and search for the library that you want. Maybe the Blink library. Here is the Blink library. Click on install to install it. Maybe you need to search for Adafruit libraries. So there are all the Adafruit libraries appeared here. So things are very simple. Like the things that we commonly used in Arduino IDE, the team gave those features right in front of the main window. So we no longer need to go inside the menus and sub menus and do the stuff. Straight away click on the icon and do your task. Okay. The next here is the debug option shown here. Now I still need to test this feature out for a couple of times to make you better understand how this will work and what's the purpose of it and everything. So maybe in some other short video or longer topic, I'll cover in detail about what debug actually is and how to use the debug feature in the new Arduino IDE. And then we have this search icon here, the search option here, which is much more advanced than the previous version. Let me just open up a new example code and actually show you how this works. Okay, so here is the all-in-one version 2 sample code which is opened up in the new Arduino IDE, and here inside the search option we can search for whatever word that we are searching for. For example, if I want to search about switch, as you can see there are 136 results of the word switch. Now what if I want to search a word which has just switch in it, like no switch 1, switch 2, nothing, just switch in it. For that you can select this second option, and as you can see the number shrink down to 16, and I am getting the results in which the only switch is written, okay, nothing before and after it, okay. And what if I want to search switch exactly written in small letters only? For that you need to click on the first option. As you can see, I'm getting the word switch written in all the small letters with a single word switch, nothing before and after that. So these are the filter options shown here. And what if you want to replace this word? And for that you just need to click here and type the word that you want to replace it with. I will name it as button, and as you can see it shows like this. So if you want to change just one single what you can say word, you can click on this particular button and it will change just that particular word. As you can see where it is, okay, it's already changed to button, so it is not at all shown here, okay. But if you want to replace it all, you can click here and it will replace all the switch word to the button, okay. So this is how you can replace the things as well. And this other two options, I'm not pretty much sure what are they, like what's the purpose of it. Even I'm not getting any documentation about it as well on the official Arduino documentation page of the Arduino IDE 2.0. But yeah, if I find any particular reason or purpose of it, I'll definitely mention in the description of this video. Also, you can let me know what is the purpose of this, because it is really hard to find it. It is use regular expression, and the last option is include ignored files, okay. So maybe I'll cover in some other video in which I'll be covering the debug option. So yeah, that was all about the search feature as well. Also, selecting the boards is now really very simple and straightforward. So earlier, if you want to select any board, what we have to do is, just a second, let me show you. So earlier when we to select the board, we need to go into tools, then to boards, then here into ESP32, and then you have to scroll down and down and down until we find our perfect board, which is where it is. So it's really very hard to find out the board, okay. So here it is, do EDSP dev kit v1. So this is the long process that we do to select a right board that we want. But now it's really straightforward. You just need to select here, select other boards and ports, and here just search for the board that you want. Like do it dev kit v1, and here is that particular board. How awesome it is, yaar. ये feature ना उनको कब से add कर देना चाहिए था. Like it's a real hard struggle to find out all the boards and everything. So now type the board name. If I type the name as Arduino Uno, ठीक है. So here is the Arduino Uno. So it's really very straightforward. ESP32 cam, then AI3 ESP32 cam. बहुत ही ज़्यादा simple है. So I'll stick it to do it dev kit v1. So this is one of my really favorite feature. If it your favorite as well, यार like कर दो अभी के अभी. Do click the like button if you also love this feature, like other than any other feature. ये बहुत ज़्यादा favorite है, ठीक है. So this is how you can simply select the board. Now let's jump on to the new feature added here, which is auto suggestion, and let me show you how it works. So to turn on the auto suggestion, you need to go into Arduino IDE, into preferences, and here you need to click on this editor quick suggestion button and click on the OK button. So now you'll be getting the suggestions about, let me just show you the example and then you'll better understand, okay. For example, if I want to write a new case here, okay, so I'll press enter and I'll type case. As you can see, this whole what you can say list I'm getting here, like what I can add here, okay. So I can add case of IR remote, IR fan off, IR relay. Once I can add all these cases in the code, so you automatically suggestion देगा like हमें क्या करना है. And when you press the enter button, it just write down everything for you. So this is an auto suggestion which is really helpful when you are using some new library, because we don't know what are the functions included in that library. So this auto suggestion will help you to list down all the function. And as I'm talking about the new library and then function, एक बहुत ही awesome चीज इन्होंने add करी है. Let me show you that as well. For example, here is the update report and parameter, okay. So I don't know what are the parameters that I can enter inside this particular update and report parameter. If you want to know that, we have to search for the library of it on GitHub and get the C++ file. We have to search for this function and everything we need to do, right? But now just hover on this particular word, and as you can see, all the details regarding this particular instance appeared right in front of your eyes, okay. As you can see, this is the instance, and if you want to go deep inside the header file or the C++ file where this is written, you just need to right click on it, click on go to definition, and you are inside that header file. how awesome it is. Like, I know my days when I was struggling to find out the number of parameters that instance can handle, that an object can handle. So I need to search for the library, search for that function, search for that object, everything. But now it's just 2 clicks away. Just right click on that particular function or anything and click on go to definition, and you are inside that header file. You no longer need to search कि ये header file actually है कहाँ पे, कुछ search नहीं करना है, and you are straight inside the header file, and now you can observe all the details of the new libraries, new functions and सब कुछ. Thank you so much Arduino for adding this feature as well. So yeah, this is really awesome feature. ये बहुत लोगों के काफी काम आने वाला है. Okay, so now let's jump on to the next feature, which is also really helpful and useful for all those who are working on different computers. Okay, so this is about this particular icon. So you just need to click on the sketchbook, okay, and click on this icon, which will ask you to sign into your Arduino cloud account. So let me just sign into my cloud account and let's see what this feature can do for us. So I'll sign into my Arduino account. Okay, I'll type the username and password. Okay, so I'm on my account and I'll click on the accept button. So it will give permission to the Arduino IDE to sync with my Arduino account. Okay, it says you are already signed in. You can close the browser window. So I can close this. And here is my Arduino IoT cloud account linked with the Arduino IDE 2.0. So here are all the sketches that were already inside my cloud account. So I can access those codes from any of the system I'm working on. I can just click on this pull sketch and it will get the sketch for me, and I can now edit that sketch here inside the Arduino Arduino IDE 2.0. So it's really very easy when you multitasking on different systems. And after doing all the necessary modification, I can also push this code to the cloud and I can still access from any other system. So this is very useful feature for some of you maybe, because most of the students are working on the same system as well, but most of the working professionals are working on their personal computer, on their work computer. So this is a really useful feature for all those people. Now moving ahead with the next feature, then I have heard somewhere that there is a compilation time difference between both the generation of Arduino IDE, and the second generation compiles the same code much faster. Is it so? Well, let's just test it out. So first what I'll do, I'll open up the same example code, that is the code for all-in-one version 2 in the previous version of Arduino IDE. I'll maximize this. I'll select the board as ESP32 Dave module, which is already selected, and the partition scheme will be Rainmaker. Okay, so now what I'll do, I'll start the stopwatch on the smartphone as soon as I click on the compile button. So 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so it took 1 minute and 8 seconds to compile this really long code of 819 lines. Okay, but let's just see in our second generation. Okay, so I'll select that same configuration. Like I select the board as ESP32 Dave module. बहुत आसान है यार select करना. Just search for it and select it. I'll click on OK and I'll select the partition scheme as Rainmaker. Hey, ये Rainmaker. Okay, so yeah, everything is pretty much same. So last time was 1 minute and 8 seconds. I'll reset it and I will start the compiling here in 3, 2, 1 and go. Okay, so it's done compiling in 59 seconds. ठीक है, it's not that much tremendously fast. So previous was 1 minute and 8 seconds and this is 59 seconds. So it is 9 seconds faster in this particular code. But yeah, it is a little bit faster, but it's not drastically faster. Okay, so yeah, compilation time is pretty much more or less the same. Okay, so after going through all the features, now let's try to upload a sample code onto the ESP32 board and let's see if there is any difference in the uploading process or not. Let me show you that. Okay, so I already connected my ESP32 development board with my computer, and here I'll go to the files and into examples, then to basics, then into Blink. Okay, let's just open that Blink example code. Great, it opens up. So now I'll select the right board. Okay, so as you can see, the COM ports are visible here, but you can still select on this particular thing, and here you can select the board, and here you can select the COM port. Let's first select the board, which is 28 DevKit V1. Yaar, kitna easy hai yaar. Click on show all ports that will show you all the ports here probably. It says no port discovered. What is it? Let's just click on the OK button and let's just see again. Okay, so there are no ports shown here. I think this is some kind of a bug, I guess. But yeah, I can select the port from here as well. So these two ports are appear here. Out of them, this is the actual port. Okay, so yeah, I have selected the port and the board as well. And now we are good to go to hit the upload button. So I just hit the upload button and wait for the sketch to get uploaded. Okay, so it started uploading the code onto this board. And yeah, the code is successfully uploaded and the LED started blinking on it. I don't know if you're able to see it or not, but yeah, ये blink कर रही है. You can trust on me. Okay, so it is very simple. But now let's just upload some code that contains the serial monitor data, and let's just visualize the serial monitor and the serial plotter function in this particular code. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll simply write here as serial.print. Okay, so ये suggestion आ गया है into the brackets LED on. And now again here I will write serial.println which is LED off, and यहाँ पे मैं serial begin कर लूँगा. serial.begin into the bracket ln5200. Let's just upload this sketch. Oh, so there is one problem here. Hardware serial has no member called big. Okay, it says Bing, so I need to type as begin. Let's just upload it now. अब क्या दिक्कत हो गई? Okay, I didn't put the semicolon. यार मैं कोड करना भूल गया हो क्या? Let's just hit the upload button now. Okay, it started uploading the code and it's done uploading. And let's just open the serial monitor and observe the response. So yeah, so the new serial monitor is here at the bottom of the Arduino IDE, and here you can select the baud rate. I'll select as LN5200. As you can see, LED on, LED off we are getting. If you want to clear the serial monitor, you can click on this icon. It will clear the serial monitor, and as you can see, we are getting the response. Okay, so no more separate window pop-up for serial monitor. Everything is inside that same window. Okay, now one great feature here in this new version is you can monitor multiple serial monitors in the same Arduino IDE. So previously we were not able to open up multiple ports to if you want to monitor the data from one ESP32 board and the second ESP32 board. But now here we can do that. Let me show you a quick demo for that as well. So I'll create a new sketch. So I have connected a Node MCU with my computer. Okay, and here I will upload a sketch for serial printing, but it will print something different. So I'll quickly write the code at serial.begin into the bracket 115200. Then in the serial in the loop I will write as serial.println. Then I will type as hello from Node MCU, and this will be printed after the interval of every second delay of 1 second. Pretty simple code. I'll select the right board, which is Node MCU, and after that I'll select the right board COM port, which is this. Okay, I'll select everything, and now I'll hit the upload button. So it will be uploading the sketch into the second Node MCU board. Okay, so the code is uploaded into the Node MCU board as well. If I open the serial monitor and set the baud rate to 115200, as you can see, I'm getting hello from Node MCU here. Okay, so as you can see on the left, I'm getting the response from the Node MCU board, which is hello from Node MCU, and on the right, I'm getting the response from the ESP32 board, which is LED on and off. So this was not at all available in the previous generation. अब हम multiple UART communication, UART का data देख सकते हैं on the same Arduino IDE. So previously we need to install a separate software to monitor the UART data of some other boards. If you face this problem, well, do let me know in the comments, because मैंने ये problem face करी है. I had to monitor the GPS data when I want to monitor the GSM data separately. So ये बहुत दिक्कत होती थी. So this is a really life savior and a very convenient option provided by the new version of Arduino IDE. A big thumbs up to this feature. Okay, so after this, now let's just test out the serial plotter feature and let's see if there's something new in it or not. Let me just show you that feature. Okay, so for the serial plotter testing, I uploaded a sample code in which I'm getting the variable 1 data as a random variable, random data which will be from 0 to 100, any number it can be. And after that, I have written variable 2, which is a constant number 50, and uploaded this code onto my ESP32 board. And if I open the serial monitor, the results are pretty obvious. I'm getting the variable 1 and variable 2. So variable 2 data is how to stop this. Okay, yeah. So variable 2 data is 50 and variable 1 is fluctuating between 0 to 100. Okay, let's just observe this in a serial plotter. So if I open the serial plotter, as you can see, I'm getting the two different variables with two different color tones. So variable 1 is in blue, variable 2 is in orange, and I can, uncheck any of the variable. If I want to see only one variable at a time, I can uncheck both of them. I can check one. Okay, as you can see, this is constant 50 and this is fluctuating between 0 to 100. And I can stop it wherever I want. So I'll click on the stop button. And as you can see, I can see the data at the particular point. So this is constant 15, this is 98, then this is 13 and 11. So I can visualize the data at a particular point as well. And I can visualize multiple data points in a single serial plotter. So this is also redefined in the new Arduino IDE 2.0, which is really very useful. Okay, so yeah, that was all about the serial plotter. Okay, so after going through all the feature, one common question is, will I be using the Arduino IDE 2.0 or will I be still sticking to the first generation? Well, why not, yaar? I'll definitely be switching over to Arduino IDE 2.0 because it provides a lot of convenience with the new features in it. And मैंने अपने favorite features बता दिए, the board selection, the boards manager, the library manager, the auto suggestion. यार बहुत सारे favorite features हैं. So I'm definitely switching on to Arduino IDE 2.0 and I'll recommend you to switch over to it as well. And also there are a couple of features left to be explained, like the hardware debug and also a couple of options in the serial monitor, which I'll be covering in some upcoming videos. So consider subscribing this channel. Also do click the like button and motivate us to make such interesting getting started videos in the field of electronics, IoT and automation. And that being said, I'm just ending this video here and now. Just wait for my next video and explore, learn, share with me, techiesms.